Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, I bring you another video, of course, for your liking, and for my pleasure. Hopefully your pleasure too. But anyway, enough of that crap. Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm gonna bring you episode 2 of Arcane. And it was a pretty exciting one. I have a ton of notes this time. I want to be a little more clear and concise in this episode. So if I'm looking down at the notes. But hey, we're going to get to it. I'd like to make the video a little shorter than the last one because between you and me, it was a pain to upload. Very bad. So honestly, let's just get right into it. Alright, our episode starts kind of where our first episode was a bit. We see the other side of the heist, you know? We saw the kids breaking in to this place to steal this stuff. So the episode starts with us seeing the other perspective, and we get introduced to, I would probably say, a really important character, Jayce Talis. I think it's Talis was his name. Yeah. And this scene beautifully, just beautifully showcases that magic. It showcases magic's destructiveness, and it showcases the wonders of magic. Because, as I said, it's where the last one ended, and we see the explosion from Jayce's perspective, his apartment. He gets thrown back, and then he gets into a flashback, actually. And we see a bit of his backstory, where him and his mother were on a frozen mountaintop, correctamundo? Yep, we transition to a flashback of Jayce and his mother in a frozen wasteland, and his mother collapses, presumably about to die. And that's just like a terrifying sight if you're a kid, about to see your mother die. Until he gets saved by this mysterious man that we see, who showcases that magic is not just a destructive thing, that it has wondrous properties that can help people. And he, it looks like, teleports them to a lush field of flowers. And let me just say, guys, this scene was like, it was awesome. It was really cool looking. They did a great job animating it. Yet again, the animation of this show is just chef's kiss. It's just great. It's so distinctive. Like, I think I compared it to Borderlands in yesterday's episode because of the cell shading, and it really kind of is, guys. It's really good. I can't speak enough of the animation. Yeah, it showcases, yeah, it was just really cool. Alright, and then we transition from that scene to oh, we find out that Jayce is actually getting investigated by the woman that Vander made a deal with in the last episode, who I found out her name was Grayson. Yes. And they're investigating Jayce. They're like, hey kid, what happened? What's with the explosion? Why do you have all these illegal things in here? And she's with a man. She's with a man that we learn is named Victor. And he's asking the same thing, like, what were you doing here, son? He's like, I was doing science, of course. And he seems interested, honestly. But of course, nevertheless, they came here to confiscate all his illegal equipment and to arrest him. Which is kind of crazy if you think about it. His house gets broken into and then he gets arrested, Jayce. But hey, them's the rules of the top side. What can we say, guys? But yeah, at this point we transition to the jail cell, where they do a really good job of introducing the professor. What was his name again? Heimerdinger. I gotta say, that's a hell of a name. It's a really interesting name. I don't know if he has any lore in the League of Legends world, but he's got a really funny name, I will say. And he's explaining to Jayce about how dangerous magic is, and that during his trial he should not bring it up. He should not bring magic up because people are afraid of it. It's destructive. And as we know, he certainly doesn't agree to that. But yeah, I think this scene was important, you know? Him just explaining, because he's, what was he, 307 years old? He's kind of like, he's got the Yoda kind of thing. Small, but really old. And he's just explaining to Jayce, like, hey, magic is dangerous. You don't want to bring that up to them. People are afraid of it. I've been around a long time, kid. You can't harness magic. But Jayce, he really thinks he can. And honestly, from what we've seen from those crystals, he might very well can. Very well can? Is that good English? Probably not, but hey, it's fine. We're going a little quicker, guys, because there's a lot to talk about, and we'll get into the real meat and potatoes of the episode later. Like I said, I'm not trying to look down. How unprofessional of me. Uncouth. But, like I said, I got a lot of notes to go through. We then transition to Vi and the gang. Laying low, as Vander said. And I gotta say, guys, Vi can really throw a punch. She's just in the boxing machine going left, right, left, right. She's getting a high score and everything. And man, I gotta say, I don't know anything about League of Legends or the series, but I have seen the trailers and all that. She apparently is going to get Vander's gloves at some point. That's going to be pretty sick to see. But yeah, they're laying low there. They're minding their own business. And in this scene, we really see that Powder is, like, incredibly smart. She not only fixes all the machines in there, we see that she is, like, an ace shot. She could probably outshoot most people in the underground. I gotta say, that's pretty cool, man. See, that's why, if you're not a strong fighter or something, that doesn't necessarily make you weak or worthless or anything, guys. What it really means that you just excel in other areas, you know? Some people are good fighters, some people are smart, and then some people are resourceful. She seems to be the latter two. And I'm definitely sure that will come up later on in the series, because it's going to be cool. She's a really good shot. But then we see that the enforcers are out in force, no pun intended, really looking for these kids. Like, they really, really want to get these kids. And they're just interrogating this one guy. And of course, they're talking to him. He's like, give us a name. So the guy leans in and then just talks a mean loogie onto this enforcer's shoe. Which, hey man, it was funny, but was it as funny when he went through the window? You know it. So of course they throw him through the window where the kids are, and you know what that is. They see the kids, they're like, oh, we gotta search them. Which would normally be fine. Like, what would they have on them? Except Powder brought those little explosives with her again, guys, and not the smartest move, I might add. But of course, as they're getting searched, they can't allow that. Sorry for that, I had to close something, guys, but yeah, as I was saying, they can't allow that. Like, they can't let them find that. They'd figure out that it was them. So of course they have to make a distraction, which is pretty cool, by the way. The chase scene that follows suit is pretty sick, honestly. And this guy was about ready to shoot them. If not, and they would have gotten caught too, if not for Echo saving them. Echo with the clutch save, I might add. And yeah, that's how our scene ends, with them getting away. And I gotta say, it's pretty cool scene, guys. I'm not trying to go too quick, but I do want the video to be a little quicker. I'm just trying to get the key points. You know, I see it's very unprofessional that I keep looking down, but like I said, I got like 7 pages of notes, guys. Alright. Next scene, we transition to the Kiermans, who are apparently Jayce's supporters. They've been funding his research. And it looks like their daughter's taking a liking to him. Because they're trying to stick up for him. They're like, hey, we're his benefactors and all that. If anyone's going to stand up for this kid, it's us. So they got to do something. Because apparently the mother is on the council, which we will get to later. Which I think is the real meat and potatoes of the episode. But yeah, just wanted to throw that in real quick. Alright, and now we transition to Vander and the underground people holding a meeting. And let's just say, not everyone is confident in Vander's leadership anymore. Some of them look like they just want to flat out revolt against him because they're tired of it, you know? The enforcers are in the underground just tossing everyone around, you know, making huge scenes and all that, trying to find people, and they're sick of it, you know? They're trying to live their lives, and these people keep coming in, and they are really questioning Vander's leadership. This one lady is just sitting there like, the Vander I know who built this underground would never run from a fight. And Vander, being the badass he is, walks up to her and says, "Hey, do I look scared?" She's like, "No, you look weak." And that was a pretty strong scene, because I'm sure a lot of people down there are thinking like, "Hey, why is this guy not doing anything, you know? He's our fearless leader. Why is he just letting them run us over?" Well, we all know he has his reasons. Violence doesn't solve everything all the time, guys, you know? He's just trying to keep the peace as much as he can, which, in a tense situation like that, easier said than done, I'm sure. But alright, where are we going to now? Ah, yes, the real meat and potatoes of the episode. We go to the trial, where Jayce is brought up in front of all of them, in front of everyone of the council. And I gotta say, we got some interesting characters on the council. One guy's a robot. We get introduced to one character, Mel, who really feels like she's got some stuff on the side going on too, you know? Like, she's kind of up to something. She's trying to find that big break. So I'm sure we'll definitely see more of her later on, but anyway, the trial. Now, the trial is, how do you say, not that fruitful. Just, they're all arguing amongst themselves of what to do with Jayce. And then Jayce has just had enough, guys. He's just like, enough of this. I was researching how to make magic, how to control magic, and that shuts everyone up very quick, as you would expect. The professor's like, "Oh my god, kid, I told you not to bring this up." And then he goes on, not really a lecture, just he starts showing his wisdom, saying, magic is dangerous. He's seen nations toppled by magic. He's seen civilizations destroyed by magic. Hell, they built the city they're in now, which I believe is called Piltover, to escape magic. So naturally, they're all terrified of it. So they want to banish Jayce out of there. Which I guess is understandable, but it's like, hey man, he didn't really do anything too bad, but it's understandable to an extent. Hell, even, like I said, his benefactors are trying to defend him, but they can only do so much. And he would have been banished too, if not for his mother speaking up at the last second. As we know, she was saved by magic, and she knows how important it is to him and that he would never, just never give up on it. So she has to plead to them that he's not in his right mind, you know? And the professor is looking out for this kid, because they were definitely going to banish him, flat out. He was gone. Like, he was out of there, guys. He was going to be gone, and that would have been the end of it. The professor's looking out for him. And he says, "No, we don't need to expel this kid from the city. We'll just expel him from the academy and send him back to his parents." But Jayce's words does spark something in someone. Victor, from the earlier episode, is in the audience, and he's really listening to this kid. And he really is apparently taking a liking to him. Taking a liking to his ideas and all that. Because we see later on that he's talking to the professor, and he's saying, "Hey, couldn't you do something like this? Couldn't you work upon his ideas and make something?" The professor, of course, brushes it off, because he knows the dangers of magic, but Victor was really enticed by this idea. It makes me think he's up to something, if I gotta say, but I'm sure we'll figure that out later. But yeah, he was really, yeah, exactly what I wrote here, but he piqued the interest of Victor, and Victor was all too happy to learn more about this. But we're going to go to the next page. Sorry, I keep looking down, guys, but I'm trying to be a little more concise and not all over the place, like yesterday's video. So, where do we... Ah, of course. It's here that we transition to Silco, who's our villain. I figured out his name. Silco. And he's got this ooze. The little venom-looking ooze from the last episode. And he's ready to test it. And who better to test it than our thug from the previous episode who tried to attack Vi and the gang. Not tried, he did, but y'all know what I mean. So of course, he's doing this one speech. And it's a good speech, a villainous speech, saying that true power is not awarded to the people that are the strongest, the smartest, or the fastest. True power is achieved by the people that want it more than anything and is willing to do anything for it. And this kid was real reluctant, to be fair, because who wouldn't? This shit's gonna kill you. But Silco really convinced him, and he injected it, and it looked like it worked. It definitely looked like it worked, and he turned into a huge... It looked like a monster, kind of like a Frankenstein's looking monster. So I'm definitely sure we'll see that at a later episode. Probably stick it in the underground, I would imagine. Like, why wouldn't he? But like I said, I'm sure we'll figure that out later. Oh, I did forget to mention that he meets with one of the guards before then. Yeah, silly me. I skipped over that part. He meets with one of the guards before then, and apparently rats out the kids. Like, hey, the kids are down here, you need to come look for them and all that. And it's a pretty dirtbag move, but he's trying to stir up people, you know, so something happens, I would imagine. And he's doing a good job. He's throwing a firecracker in with the lions, and the lions ain't liking it. But alright, where do we go next? Oh yeah, Jayce leaves home because he feels a little betrayed by his mom, which I guess you can understand a bit. His mom kinda, not really threw him under the bus, but kinda made him look stupid in front of the council. So of course he's hurt and offended by that. Who wouldn't be, you know? Jayce leaves home, and we find out that Victor's extremely interested. Yes, we talked about that. And then we did talk about Silco giving the drug. And Yes, and now we transition to the enforcers raiding the underground. They go to the last drop and confront Vander. And they're like, "Hey man, let's cut the shit right here. We know these kids are somewhere down here. Like, are you gonna give them to us, or do we have to find them on their own?" So of course they're searching the place. The kids are hiding. I gotta say, Vander's system to alert the kids is pretty sick. It's pretty cool, I must add. But they're hiding, and Powder almost gives them away. I mean, to be fair, y'all ever hanged from a pipe from the ceiling? I know I haven't. I'm pretty sure my big ass would slip, too. But yeah, they very narrowly get away from being caught, which just really adds to the tension. This episode was quite good, honestly, guys. I must say. Here's the Vi being raided and getting raided by the gang. Okay. That is 5. I need 6. Excuse me, guys. How unprofessional of me. But I'm trying to cut the chase. Yes, and then we transition to a scene of the council freaking out about this. Like, hey, we need results. And that's why the enforcers headed down there. That was one reason. The other one was Silco. But they're freaking out. So the young guy who was with Grayson, I'm pretty sure that was the lady's name, is just doing stuff on his own. Like, if you won't do something, I will. We need results. And of course he's young, he's ambitious, he's foolish. She's pissed at that. She's like, "You fool! Why would you do something like that? You don't know there are repercussions, or the repercussions of what you've done." And then, yeah, and then they get a message, presumably from Vander, and we'll have to see what that entitles later. But it's quite interesting, honestly. Like, what's gonna happen, you know? Alright, but at that point we transition to Vander and Vi arguing. she's had enough. She's like, we need to fight. I will fight no matter what. And he's seen that look in her face before. So he takes her out to the bridge where he found the two sisters in the first episode. And he just really lays it on the table to her like, Vi, I know you're pissed at what they've done to us. But war, what did I write? Nobody wins in war, he told her. And that is just such a true statement, honestly, guys. It's so true. Just nobody wins in war. There's casualties on both sides. It's bloody. It's miserable. It's just war. It's, again, like I said in the first episode, kind of like Fallout. War never changes and no one wins in war. So he's just laying it all on the table for her. Like, yeah, Vi, I know how you feel exactly. I took people across this bridge trying to make a difference. And because of that, your parents died. Which was a bombshell thing to say. But we kind of assumed that was their parents from the first episode when they saw them on the ground and they were crying. But yeah, that's a bombshell. Like, Vander is the reason their parents died. Like, that's hard. And they still respect him. That shows a lot. So of course, Vi calmed down a little bit, asking Vander, what are we going to do? And it's a valid question, like, what can you do? And of course he does his normal answer, like, I'll figure it out. But you can tell in her eyes, like, no, I'll figure it out. You can tell she's going to do some crazy stuff. But yeah, after that, after talking to her, what do we do? Yeah, the words hit deep, but you can tell Vi is going to do something crazy. Which I'm sure she is. At that point, we transitioned to Jayce, apparently about to kill himself. He just had enough. He was just getting depressed and just in a bad mindset. He was about to jump from his own laboratory, which is crazy if you think about it. But of course, here comes Victor, saving his life without even realizing it. And this is where we find out Victor is extremely curious. And Victor was apparently from the Undercity. He grew up in the Undercity. And he worked hard. He believed in himself to get above ground. But he still feels like an outsider. And he talks to Jayce and he's like, hey, I like your theory. I believe in it. I want to help you do it. Which Jayce can't believe. Because to be fair, who could? This Victor was the guy that basically helped put him in jail, you know, kind of arrested him. So of course he doesn't believe him at first. But like I said, Jayce goes into his story. We find out he's from the underground, that he was a poor boy, and that they kind of develop, it looks like a kinship in that moment. And I'm pretty interested to see where we go from here, honestly. Like, is Victor gonna, like, abandon his duties? Is he gonna help him in secret? Like, I don't know. Yeah. Hold on. Last page, guys, I promise. Like I said, I had a lot to go through. Very unprofessional, I know, but hey, we're sticking to the main points of the episode. And then, yeah, after that, our episode ends with the Enforcers back in the underground again, and they look pissed. They look like they're ready to mess some stuff up. And we see Powder in the bar with Vander. And we see that Powder has the doll that Vi brought up in the first episode. That she threw up in the, or she lost in the power lines. She apparently got it eventually. And Vander sees that and he's like, oh no, some crazy's about to happen. And our episode ends with it apparently looking like Vi got caught by the Enforcers. I gotta say, that's a heck of a cliffhanger ending, guys. But yeah, I'm extremely interested to see where we go from here. I thought this episode did a really good job of building the world, honestly, and really showcasing the wonders and dangers of magic. And everyone's afraid of it, especially the Professor. He's lived a long time. He's seen nations toppled by magic. So yeah, it's really made me curious about where we're going to go from here, honestly. Sky's kind of the limit, you know? Victor's apparently helping Jayce. Vi apparently got caught. Like, what's going to happen in the next episode, you know? Like, I'm looking forward to it a lot. Let me tell you guys, it's been really hard not to go to just straight to the next episode. When I've been watching these, it's been really hard. But I'm doing it for y'all. Remember that. But yeah, the episode ended like that, and man, it was a good episode through and through. Yet again, like I said earlier, just reminded by how good the animation is and just how vast the world looks. The world's kind of crazy with how big and complex it is. So I'm really looking forward to the next episode. Y'all let me know how you felt about the episode. I thought it was a great way to introduce magic into the series and to show the pros and cons of it. Yeah, let me know in the comments how you felt about this episode. Leave a like if you enjoyed my video, because I definitely put more work into it this time. I felt like I rushed a little bit, but I'm trying to make the video a little shorter and more condensed and more focused as opposed to yesterday's. So yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed. Tell me in the comments how you felt about the episode. Subscribe for more videos like this, because of course we're going to continue Arcane, we're going to continue my Dress Up Darling, and then even more stuff down the line. Like I said, guys, I'm working to get some games going. Like I said in my short, I want to play Persona 4 Golden. Trust me, it's gonna happen. I just gotta get a better computer until then. So you guys maybe support me a little bit if you want to see that, you know? But no, guys, until next time, I'll see ya. I hope you all have a great day. Deuces, and goodbye.